Hi everybody, welcome back. We're looking today at Jeremy Duff. We are halfway through chapter 9. We're looking at the halfway practice exercises. I'm going to do 2 or 3 of them for you, beginning with these 2 right here on the board. We're on page 100 and 304. Let's get started with this one. Here's question 3. Sonage tauta ta probata. Sonage tauta ta probata. How do we translate any sentence? First you look for the verb, so take a moment, find the verb right here. Yes, well done, you spotted it. This is the verb, comes from sonago, which means I gather. So he, she or it, because third person singular, it's present, no epsilon augments or sigma suffixes. So he, she or it is gathering. I think actually Duff has she is gathering. Okay, and then what have we got in the rest of the sentence? Well, we've got ta probata, which is, well, probaton is a singular for sheep, so probata, the sheep. Plural is the same in English as the singular in English, but in Greek, probaton, probata, so the sheep. And then you've got, here's what this whole exercise is about, tauta. So what's tauta? Well, tauta, as you know, if you look back a couple of pages or so in your book, is the pronoun from hutos that matches with the accusative plural ta probata. So this is the accusative plural of hutos, tauta, meaning this, or in this case, because it's plural, it means these. So we put this, or these, in here. She's gathering these, the sheep, and you're thinking, what's going on? Then you remember, yeah, this is used as an adjective as well as a pronoun. And when it's used as an adjective, it doesn't come in the normal attributive position in here. Goodness, what kind of an arrow is that? It doesn't come in here. It comes instead before the article. So literally, if you're glossing it word for word, it says she's gathering these, the sheep. But what it means is she is gathering these sheep. And that's what number 3 means. Sonage tauta ta probata. She is gathering these sheep. Note, just a little pronunciation point, going back 5 or 6 chapters or so. When you say this, you'll be tempted, like me, to say probata, if you have the same kind of accent and way of speaking that I do. If you do that, you will end up misspelling it. It's an omicron, not an omega. So I encourage you, again and again, say it using the strict pronunciation method that we covered way back, dozens of videos ago at the beginning. Probata, and you'll be able to remember the spelling much more easily. That's number 3. Now, let's have a look at number 5. En te auter hemera, hemaria, eblepsen ton kurion. En te auter hemera, hemaria, eblepsen ton kurion. A couple of reasons for looking at this one. First, it's a bit longer and a bit quirky. Second, it uses a different pronoun in a different way from number 3. Third is, there is a little typo here in Duff. So difficult to get all the typos out of a book like this one. He's omitted the iota subscript under the alpha. I think we can forgive him for that, can't we? But just in case you're thinking, you're scratching your head, and the real grammar junkies among you might have spotted it, there should be an epsilon, an iota subscript underneath the alpha there. Okay, so what are we doing here? If you get a bit befuddled by it, just do the usual thing. Let's look for the verb. Eblepsen. Just cast your mind back. What's gone on here? Well, it comes from blepo. And you recognise the stem, but something's gone on here. You've got a sigma suffix, which is combined with the pi to give you a psi. And you've also got an epsilon augment, which tells you it's aorist. And then you're looking elusat, elusas, elusen, third person singular, so that is he, she or it saw. So because we know it's Maria, let's cut to the chase and say she saw, although that's going to disappear because that's the subject, as we're about to discover. Her Maria in the nominative case, Maria means Mary, and as so often in Greek, the proper names of people will be accompanied by the article in Greek, not translated into English. So Mary saw, and then what have we got? Mary saw, object is in the accusative, very straightforward, the Lord. And all the action has been saved, the best till last for you right here. Ente auter hemera. Ente auter hemera. So what does this mean? Well, you've got a prepositional phrase with all this lot in the dative case as the complement. So in the something day. In the something day. And here's the big question. Hemera, of course, comes from hemera, meaning day. Let's write that down. Well, is it going to be in or on? Actually, it's fairly obvious it's going to be on, isn't it? And it turns out is a very flexible preposition. You learned it as meaning in, but when it's relating to time expressions, as it is on this occasion with hemera, it means on. Think of it as the locative, the locative preposition. It's the one that tells you where something is located, and to be located somewhere in space means in that thing normally, but to be located somewhere in time means on that day or at that time. So the preposition that you use to translate it into English will vary depending on what the time expression is. Here you talk in English about being on a certain day, so we say on the day. Back to the chase. What does auter mean? Well, remember a video or two back we looked at the many different meanings of autos. There are three basic meanings of autos, and the little mnemonic I gave you was self, same, pronoun. This is being used adjectively to mean same. It means the same day, and you can see that if you glance back a page or two in your notes in Duff. So, on the same day, Mary saw the Lord. Enter auter hemera hemaria eblepsen ton kulion. That's number 5. Let's just give me a second. I'll wipe this and then we'll do one more together. Hold on. Okay, here we are. Number 10. A nice little English into Greek just to stretch us a little bit. This one is particularly good because it also gives us a chance to look at some of the other patterns of nouns and verbs that we looked at in chapter 8. So let's get to it. Peter himself denied Jesus. Peter himself denied Jesus. Here we've got something funky going on with a pronoun. It's different from the other two examples. But let's start with a verb. The verb denied. What are we going to do with this? Well, I deny in Greek is arneomai. I deny, arneomai. It's one of the deponent verbs. Look back at chapter 8, page 91 if you need a reminder of this. And we need to now look at what tense, what number, and so on. Well, it's going to be aorist tense, isn't it? Because denied, it's close to a simple past in English. It's not imperfect because it's not an ongoing thing. It's not Peter was denying Jesus. It's third person singular because it's Peter who did it. So aorist, third singular, deponent, middle, indicative, active of arneomai. So how on earth do we get there? First, you don't panic over it. One step at a time. Aorist. So we're thinking epsilon augment, sigma suffix. Don't need to worry about that. So the epsilon augment combines with the alpha to give you an eta. Air. Then we go on with the rest of the stem. Erne. And then what we're going to try and do is add the sigma suffix. Hold on. If you add the sigma suffix to this, you upset the weak epsilon at the end of the stem. The epsilon wants to be long. The mnemonic for that is all weak things want to be big. And if it can't combine with a vowel in the ending, then what it will do is just to turn into an eta, and then you slap the sigma suffix on the end. So that's the stem with the epsilon augment and the sigma suffix. Now you just need to remember the ending. And if it's third singular, then it's you go back to your Duff chapter 8. It's don't try and do it with arneomai, as I nearly tried to do and got in a tangle. Do it with ruomai, the verb that you know. Erus amen, erus o, erus ato. Erus ametha, erus aste, erus anto. So the third singular aorist, middle deponent indicative active, or deponent middle indicative active of arneomai is ernesato. Nice and straightforward if you take it one step at a time. He denied. Let's get rid of that. Just so I don't get confused. Now what do we do? Well, fairly straightforward. Peter, it's going to be ho Petros. And Jesus is going to be ton Yezun. Remembering the article, because proper name, Yezun. And It looks too much like a new for my liking. There we are. There. Ton Jesu. Remember the article because it's a proper name, and the slightly unusual declension of Jesus. Now, what then do we do with this? Well, remember, what are the three things that the pronoun autos can mean? Because that's where this comes from. It is self-same pronoun. Self-same pronoun. Well, here it's not being used as a pronoun. It is, neither is it being used to say the same something or the same someone. It is self. In this case, himself. So we want autos matching with this. So it's going to be nominative singular, just like that. Where does it go now in the sentence? Well, you remember, if we were saying the same Peter, then we will put it in there, the same Peter. But we're not. Instead, it's Peter himself, and so we put it at the beginning, just like that. Autos ho Petros, erne satoton Jesun. Peter himself denied Jesus. Well done for getting this far. If you've made it, you've done a great job. Keep working at this 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, cracking on through this book. Use these videos to help you, and we'll have you learning the New Testament, reading the New Testament in Greek in no time at all. God bless. And bye for now.